Welcome to the Glam Life Podcast, where we empower and inspire beauty professionals to take their careers to the next level. Your host, Victoria, is a certified business coach with over a decade of experience in the beauty industry, helping countless beauty professionals start and grow successful businesses. Now she's sharing her knowledge and expertise with you. Whether you're just starting out in the beauty industry or looking to take your business to new heights, this podcast is for you, covering topics like community, management, branding, and much more. So join us on this journey to build the beauty business of your dreams.
Good morning. Oh my God. Hi, I'm Victoria Glam. If you follow me on Instagram, Victoria Rocca, if we know each other in real life. If we know each other in real life, log out. I'm just kidding. Anyway, hi, welcome to the Glam Life Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about content marketing and consistency. Two essential elements, I'm telling you right now, of any successful beauty business. I can't speak today. Oh my God, it's going to be so hard to record a podcast. You guys, I've been going through it, and I was teaching this week also, which means that I was speaking a lot, like talking a lot. So I've got a drink here. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm sipping on water, I'm sipping on hot tea, and that's not true. I hate tea, but I know it's the right answer for you, for your voice. I'm doing my best is what I'm saying. Okay, so let's try this again. I was saying that today we're going to talk about content marketing and consistency, which are two of the essential elements for any successful beauty business. I got through it that time. So, first, let's kind of define what I mean by content marketing, right? Because that's kind of a buzzword, I would say, that means different things to different people depending on what industry you're in. So to me, content marketing is the creation of valuable content that either informs, educates, or entertains your ideal client, who we talked about, last week or something like that, right? So the whole goal, the whole big picture idea here for content marketing is that you want to build a relationship with your audience. You want to build an audience, and then you want to build a relationship or like a community amongst yourselves by providing them with content that either adds value to their lives through one of those methods, right? Either through education or entertaining, and then really just kind of create a bond with them, building that community. However, consistency is crucial when it comes to content marketing, because consistency means like creating and publishing content on a regular basis, right? So making reels regularly, posting once a day, all the stuff you hear Brock Johnson say all the time, just so that your audience knows when to expect new content from you. For instance, this podcast traditionally has come out every single week on Mondays at 9 a.m. Now, I believe that's going to be twice a week, but that's just even more consistency. It'll still be the same dates, repetition, just kind of training people when they should expect to hear from you, right? Consistency builds trust with your audience, and it shows them that you're actually committed to providing them with valuable content. Like, I show up for you every single week on this podcast. And on my Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, I show up every single day. I'm in stories every day. I show you my day all day long. I am on reels day in and day out. TikTok, I'm a little less consistent, but give me some grace there because that's actually more of a personal account. But even Brow Sister and Microblading Institute, I am showing up on those accounts every single day, providing valuable information about the brand, the courses, how we can help students, opportunities for students, how to build your beauty brand, how to build your business. I show up consistently, and that's why you're still here on episode 14 or 15 or whatever we're on now. So that consistency actually is very valuable in reaching and maintaining the attention of your ideal client, right? So let's dive into kind of some like practical tips and tricks, some practical tips for creating successful content marketing, right? So tip number one, I say it all the time, like know your audience, figure out who your ideal client actually is. Who are you freaking speaking to? So to create content that resonates with your audience, you need to understand what their problem actually is. If you don't know what their issue is, what their pain point is, what their problem is, then you simply cannot solve it for them, right? I mean, that's common sense. So using tools like social media analytics, like when I'm talking about analytics, I'm talking about, yes, go and read your insights on your creator account, but also you can survey or poll your audience in stories, or you can ask people for their input and they can simply comment back to you. You know, it doesn't have to be incredibly high tech, but you can use those tools to kind of like gather data about your, do you guys say data or data? Data. I feel like data is like the regular girl way to say it. And data is like you work in a lab. Did I say data or data? I usually say data, but I feel like I might say data here because I want to sound smarter. What do you say? Leave me a comment on Instagram and let me know if it's data or data. And if it's data, spell it D-A-Y-T. And if it's data, spell it D-A-D-T. Data. Anyway, okay, I digress. So you're going to gather all the data about your audience, right? And you're going to use that data to kind of like form your own content strategy, right? Like, what do they actually want to hear about? What are they actually engaging with? I say this all the time in coaching. Whenever someone is trying to figure out their brand, like from infancy, the first thing that we got to figure out is who are you actually talking to? And the second thing we have to figure out is what kind of branding or marketing or messaging actually speaks to that person. And I will have my students do recon. So, okay, you know that like my ideal client is Brittany, right? My ideal client loves, let's say, I'm making this up, Too Faced. Great. Go on Too Faced's Instagram and see what content is getting the most interaction for them, because that is attracting your audience. And then I want you to see several, like their top 10 maybe posts over the last 3 months, and see what they have in common. You know that you need to incorporate those pieces of content into your content for your beauty brand. Conversely, I want you to do the same thing during this recon mission and see what's not working for them. What are their top 10 least interacted with pieces of content? Because that is going to tell you what actually does not at all attract your ideal client, right? So creating that kind of like very informed content strategy, figuring out what kind of content speaks to them, what it is that they want to hear about, and how you can actually help them with these pain points. The next part is consistency, right? So creating a content calendar. I don't know if anyone's mentioned content calendars to you before. I don't know if I've mentioned them on the podcast before, but it's something that I talk about quite often in coaching. So a content calendar is a schedule that outlines which types of content you'll create and when you're publishing which types of content, right? So there are different types of content. I won't bore you with that during this episode, but there's like educational and testimonial and social proof, that kind of stuff. And so you would actually look at a 7-day or a 5-day calendar, depending on your posting schedule, and you would like use them as puzzle pieces. This one goes here, that one goes there. And then you need to actually batch the content. Batching content, creating it all at one time, and then being able to either schedule it out or have your social media manager post it on a certain days and times. Or if you're still kind of wearing all the hats in your business, you doing this, that is what creates consistency in a way that's sustainable, meaning you're not going to burn out as quickly. You're not going to grow tired of it. It's not going to become another job for you. If you record 8 pieces of content on Thursday morning at 9 a.m. till 11 a.m. and then you're done for a whole nother week, and you can go into Meta Business and have it, all scheduled out. It's like a cheat code, dude, for consistency. Are you kidding? You're staying organized. You're ensuring that you're publishing your content on a consistent basis. Like, you've got it all covered. But remember, you have to use like a mix of content formats, right? So don't limit yourself to just one type of content. So don't only do reels. Don't just sit down on Thursday from 9 to 11, create 8 reels, and then call it a day. You can repurpose them across multiple platforms. But yeah, you need to have more than one type of content, because your ideal client doesn't necessarily only hang out in one area, and you have to meet people where they are. So yes, do reels. Yes, do TikToks. Yes, show up on stories. And And yes, do blog posts. Yes, create videos. Video content on YouTube is still doing amazing, and it is Google. Yes, do podcasts. That's very meta, right? And then, of course, consider keeping up your social media platforms anywhere else that you can. I know some girls are Snap girlies, some girls are Facebook girls. I'm not saying that you have to stretch yourself thin and create content for all of these platforms. I'm saying, you can repurpose this content, right? Don't let your old content go to waste. You can repurpose old blog posts by turning, copy pasting into a cute social media post. You can turn videos, long form videos into blog posts, transcribing them. There's a million websites that'll do that for you. You can repurpose old content into new formats so that you can reach, wider audiences or on other platforms. You can repost reels as TikToks as reels. The list goes on and on, right? So really, truthfully, I guess, my content marketing strategy is consistency and ease of use, right? Like, I want you to work smarter, not harder. And I want you to do it all the time. I want you to be smart all the time. Is that so hard to ask from me, your favorite beauty business coach? No, it's not. As a matter of fact, these, marketing to your ideal client and doing it consistently are the two essential elements of any successful beauty business. Creating valuable content, being consistent with it, always showing up for your ideal client, understanding who that person is. This is going to help you build a loyal following and grow your business. So anyway, I never keep you here for very long. I have a million things to do, and I know that you do also. Hello, you're a business owner. If you would like to continue this conversation, please meet me over on Instagram at victoria.glam. If this episode was helpful to you, please, I implore you, I beg you, leave me a beautiful podcast review. Share this on your Instagram so we can grow the Glam Life audience even larger. And if you have any guests that you would like to have me on, I think I'm starting to feel comfortable enough with the technology that I'm using to record this podcast to invite someone on. So you can also DM me any special requests for guests, and I promise I'll do my very best. If there's anyone you want me to ask the tough questions, I'm into it. So I will see you over on Instagram, and I will see you again right here next week.